Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel there. Hi, I'm Dave. Today we're going to do a little bit different. I know normally we're outside doing chores and showing you the animals and things like that. Today it's raining outside, so I decided to bring you in the kitchen here with me. So whenever we start producing our own food, we also process all of our own animals. Now, I did take our beef to the butcher shop the other day to have it processed because that's a little bit too large for me to handle by myself, but we are processing our own pigs. So one of the concerns that my wife had was the fact is that she wanted ham and bacon. And I never cured ham and bacon before. So I started looking online there and I found this recipe. Now this recipe is for curing hams without the sodium nitrates. The only really reason you need the sodium nitrates is if you're going to do long-term storage outside of refrigeration. Now, as long as you're going to be, after I process this, I usually package it up and freeze it, or we cook it and eat it immediately. You don't need the sodium nitrates. And I know there's a lot of concerns out there about the sodium nitrates and whether they're good for you or not. So anyhow, so we tried this recipe a couple of weeks ago and it was really, really good. So I wanted to share it with you guys on how I cure my hams without sodium nitrate. So the first thing you want to start with is you need a plastic vessel of some type. Now this is a food grade 5-gallon bucket. I recommend that you make sure that whatever you use is food grade, that you don't want to just go out there and buy any plastic container and throwing your ham in there. And so what I have in there is I have 3 cups of water, or I'm sorry, 3 gallons of water. And I'm going to go ahead and I have everything all measured out here so that way I don't have to take the time of measuring everything out. The first thing I'm going to add is 3 cups of, we use the pink Himalayan salt, and 3 cups of brown sugar. So I'm going to go ahead and stir that all together. And you want the water just room temperature. You don't need anything else besides room temperature. Then the next thing I'm going to add is a half a cup of fennel seeds, a half a cup of mustard seeds, I usually use 1 pack of rosemary. We need to start growing our own rosemary. But for right now I buy the fresh rosemary at the store and I just use the whole entire pack of rosemary. One teaspoon of thyme and 1 or 3 tablespoons of red pepper flakes. I'll put the ingredients list down in the description below if you want to get the recipe for this. And then 9 bay leaves. Six stalks of celery cut up. I cut them up in large chunks. And then 2 large onions cut into pretty large chunks. And about 20 cloves of garlic cut in large pieces. So I put that all together and I mix it up. Now after I have everything mixed up, then what I do is I will take the ham. Now I know some people might say that's not a very large ham. Now we do raise the American guinea hogs and the coonies and the Michons. They are a smaller breed of pig. So I find that it's easier for me to butcher by myself and take care of processing by myself, being a smaller pig. So then I take the whole ham and I go ahead and I submerge it in the liquid. And I also do have the 2 of the pork bellies here. I want to go ahead and submerge them in also. You want to make sure you push them down in there and get them. Sometimes the pork bellies, you have a little problems with them staying under the liquid. You want to make sure everything is submerged in the liquid. Now that I have everything in there, I'll go ahead and add a little bit of extra water until I fill the bucket the whole way to the top. So you want to fill it right up to the brim there. Once you got it to the top, as you can see, they are sticking a little bit above the top there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop the lid on. Now some water might leak out here. But that will push all the meat down underneath the water level. Okay, so now that you have it in the bucket there and it's submerged completely under the water and you have the lid on tight, what I like to do is then set this in a cool place for about 4 days. Usually what I find is I mean, that's what we did the last time and it turned out fantastic. So after it's submerged for about 4 days, it'll come out and it'll look something like this here. So this is one that I did earlier. And as you can see how it cured the ham there, it has a whole different look to it. And now it's ready for cooking. So what I like to do is next is I'll take this out and I have like an electric smoker and I put it in there on the lowest temperature, which is like 200, and I'll smoke it for about 10 hours. And then after I smoke it for about 10 hours, then I'll crank the temperature up to about 275 and I'll cook it for additional about 8 hours and then it's ready to serve. And I'll get some photos of that here when it's done. Okay, so I've had it out in the smoker for about 12 hours now on low. As you can see, it looks and smells amazing. I mean, oh my gosh. I wish you guys were here to smell this. So now that it's smoked, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop this in the oven and finish cooking it. And then that's what we're going to have for lunch today. Go to your local butcher shop if you don't do your own processing and see if you can get a fresh ham or some fresh bacon if you want to try this recipe. It is absolutely delicious and it's nitrate free, so you don't have to worry about all those extra chemicals in your food. But my family loves it and we cook it a lot. All right, thanks for stopping by the homestead. And I'll see you on the next one.